before we do that, I figure it's a good thing to address the sad is that Mike King is hurt. So Chandler, you want to start there because Mike King is like probably your favorite player.
I do love Mike King,
Read
and
the
last
obituary.
episode we did the bullpen trust tree, and I actually had him at 1 ahead of Clay Holmes, and before that he was actually use reliever WAR however you want, or WAR in general however you want, but he was, for what it's worth, ahead of Clay Holmes by a shade in WAR. He was a good mop-up guy. He came in, everybody remembers the game against the Blue Jays where he came in and, bases loaded, nobody out, gets out of it. I think I would argue, and I'm curious to see what you guys think about this, but I would argue that losing Michael King, outside of the obvious of Garrett Cole, because he's our only true ace, and maybe Aaron Judge, that he's probably the most detrimental loss to this team.
I think that's fair.
Yeah,
it's really sad. It's
really sad.
What was
dude.
the exact,
I saw him grab his elbow,
injury?
and my heart just sank.
What was the exact injury?
He fractured his elbow.
And is he
with Tommy John also a possibility?
He's confirmed out for the year.
It's confirmed out for the year, and if he has Tommy John, out for next year too.
That'd be terrible. Oh my god.
That's just sad on a Yankee front. Well, not even a Yankee front, but on a personal front too. Like he was having an absolutely lights out breakout year, more
career year, yeah.
Like way big breakout. Like he was never even remotely close to this. He was obviously young, but this is a true breakout, and he was really doing it like every single night. I don't remember that many like appearances where he looked like he didn't really have it. There's obviously a few because he's human, but I don't know. It's just really
there was
sad.
like a 3-game stretch where he kind of struggled, but even, I mean, compared to the other guys, and I think this is definitely a time to bring it up when you look at Aroldis Chapman, he shouldn't even be in that situation. Obviously, if your shoulder or elbow snaps in half while you throw a pitch, there's something wrong. That's not just it's a freak accident, but it's probably bound to happen anyway. But he should not have even been in that game. It was a 7-3 game, and Aroldis Chapman comes in, is throwing wild pitches, he's walking people, gives up a bomb because everybody can just sit on his fucking slider because everybody knows he can't throw a fastball within 10 feet of the zone. So, I don't know. That's my biggest bone to pick with it is not, I mean, yes, it's tragic. I'm very upset because I love Michael King, and I think, as I've said multiple times, I think he's the biggest piece of that bullpen. But it affects so much more, and so many more dominoes fall. I mean, Aroldis Chapman's now 1 inning closer to pitching in meaningless innings. You lose one more person in that ladder. Now he's bumped up, and he might get some more high leverage spots now. I still don't think he will. I think guys like Albert Abreu are going to get more. Wandy Peralta are going to get more, but Chapman's name is 1 step closer now. And again, Chapman can't do what he did the other night. Obviously, again, he's not to blame. It's a freak accident. It happens, but there's no reason that he should be in that spot in the first place. Michael King should have been resting and coming in the next game. And you see the snowball effects of that, because then you have Garrett Cole coming out in the 7th inning with 105, 103 pitches, whatever it is. If you have a bullpen that doesn't have to go and clean up Chapman's fucking mess every night, then Garrett Cole doesn't have to do that, and maybe that outcome's different. I know it's 1 game against the Orioles. It is what it is, but that stuff catches up to you when you have to push the guy an extra inning when maybe he doesn't necessarily have that extra oomph. Like Cole he was good. He was damn good. I know the stat sheet says he gave up 3 or 4 runs, whatever, but he was good, but he wasn't, I need to go back out there on 103 pitches. He wasn't complete game shutout against the Astros good, but you have to do that because who do you go to there? The bullpen's spent and your best reliever's done. So there's not really a whole lot you can do.
Quick thing on the King injury. I don't want to read too much into this, but this was the first time all season that he threw a good amount of pitches back to back. He hasn't really thrown back to back games this entire season.
Is that true?
And I'm looking at it right now. It's true.
Just want to make sure you have the facts.
I
believe that
he did it 1 time in June, but he threw 12 pitches before that, but the day before, and he threw 20 pitches the game before he got injured.
I feel like that's
So-
a lot of the reason because whenever he had been going, at least in the beginning of the year, he was going for like 2 innings at a time.
Yeah, which is I mean, he's got 33 pitches in some outings, 2 innings pitch. So yeah, most of it is one inning pitch, but it's
Which
something
more
to
of the
be
reason
curious.
too why we should be scared because he's used in large quantities at a time at 33 pitches. Like that's pitches you got to find.
Oh yeah,
Those are
No,
pitches
One
that you,
thing to note.
not only you have to find those pitches, you have to find somebody to be as effective as him in those spots too. And you can't just pull 33 pitches out of your ass for a reliever. I mean, you look at the stats right now. Out of the entire pitching staff, in terms of WAR, he's third in the WAR leaders on the Yankees, behind Garrett Cole, Nestor Cortez, and above the rest of the starters, and that's above Clay Holmes. Where it's a little bit ridiculous. I mean, and
I think one thing to note is
you pair that with the Severino injury. Now, like we'll get into the trade stuff later, but this changes the entire paradigm of what the Yankees should target in the trade deadline.